Alright, let's move officially to the Tower of Babel. In case you're wondering, you could not try to access it before this point because, as the character mentioned, the EFOS did put a seal at its entrance, so they wanted to shield it for some reason.
How many hours have I been awake?
Sorry, Richard, it's not enough.
It'll never, Richard. It will never be enough until it's done.
Richard, why did I find a whoopee cushion with the words "fuck you, you're not my mom" on my desk?
That's the thing. I had a nightmare that I'd rather not go into.
You know what? You know what, Richard? Think about it like this. At least when this game comes out, everyone will remember this game for years on end, I'm sure. It will be the most popular game ever.
Well, it eventually lead to having a cult classic, but let's get into this tower, which looks more metallic than actually made of stone.
Okay.
Welcome to possibly one of the worst dungeons in the game. Why?
Boy.
Remember, well, that you doesn't, but remember the whole thing that I mentioned about the platforming of this game and how random encounter can fuck you over. This is a vertical dungeon that's built entirely on that. So have fun, kids. Go on.
Yeah, I know that we've been dramatizing Richard's experience, but I wonder, was there, like, legit anything good for him going on that was helping him power through all of this?
Not that we're aware of, Joe. I mean, his entire team quit on him. His entire team quit on him. I can only hope he got paid all of their salaries, maybe?
Apparently, well, considering what he said himself, he did left a good impression because he was hired for multiple projects right after that.
Okay, Teo, by good impression, you mean, wow, you actually went through, you did this whole thing on yourself and you didn't quit?
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
This guy's a moron. Let's take advantage of that.
Basically, that's exactly what I meant.
Okay. So, in that case, I do have to wonder, though. I hope that the guy didn't feel too bad when the game was apparently... I don't want to say it was a failure, but it was a very modest release in the sense
he might have felt it because he believed that Square would have not hired him anymore after that. Remember what the interview said.
True.
I mean, like, based on what we know, Jova, it really comes down to the fact that video game translation is his life's passion, and that's the one thing that kept him sane, most likely, during this.
Probably. Like, and I will say this, though, like, well, it is really a... that was close. It is really a shame. Like, well, I mean, I can only imagine how hard it must be to do all that work, and yet when the game comes out, it's... Well, yeah, it's kind of a modest release. Like, it's not even like people hated it. It's just that nobody really noticed it that much. But
yeah, every time you actually fall into this water and you have to remerge like that. There's gonna be a sort of a payoff towards the end, but I will reserve it for that. So go on, continue.
Now I'll say this. It does not mitigate the work he did for this game at all. But man, it really just makes me wonder how it must feel to put so much passion you have into something, and then, well, for at best to turn out just mediocre. And don't even get me started on the times when people have put a lot of work into something only for it to turn out to be utter garbage. Like, dang.
I'm actually... Sorry,
and let me remind you, Joe, at the same time that he was translating this game, he was also translating Final Fantasy VIII and I think Chrono Cross as well.
I guess the trade-off is that...
Chrono Cross was around the same time of 9.
I guess the trade-off is that while Final Fantasy VIII definitely had more of a divisive release than Final Fantasy VII, at least Final Fantasy VIII was, one, certainly not forgotten, and two, it wasn't universally hated. In fact, a lot of people really liked it. Granted, I have mentioned my own critiques with the localization job, but hey, apparently Square loved it so much that they actually made the canon now reflect
guess what,
that
Jova?
localization.
There's similar to Final Fantasy VII, there's also another point where you need to swing on this metal chain. The hitbox is just as dickish as in Final Fantasy VII, with the only difference, but now you have to backtrack a lot if you fail.
Hey, guys, we're in mechs. Can't we just spare a bit of fuel to just hover over here?
Jova, are you actually implying that these mechs can actually fly upward using their thrusters?
Well, I mean, we have seen them do it! God! Wow!
Wait to make a splash to you.
Dejimon, you're pushing your luck.
Go to the corner.
Okay, but maybe...
You'll sit down in this corner, and here's your dance. You're done.
Yeah, fine. I'll dry off.
But I mean,
There you go.
but seriously though, I mean, no, we have seen mechs actually fly upwards. Hell, we've seen some shoot out of the water too as well with their thrusters here. Like,
Sorry,
oh,
we're good
that
guys
is
now, so
dickish.
There's also a Kaizo trap here. They forgot to mention that.
A Kaizo trap? Really? Why?
Sure.
Why even?
I just thought of something. I just want to turn it to you later, of course.
Yeah. So.
I just thought of something, Shiroi. You told me when we finished season 1 of End of Any, and I told you I don't know if getting to the end of this makes me brave or stupid. What do you think? What do you think here? Was Richard literally finished his entire game's translation on his own, and for whatever reason did not quit after this experience? What do you think? Is he brave or stupid?
She has to think about that.
Yeah, the fact that she has to think about that.
No, wait. I need you to repeat the question. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Basically, sure.
Yes.
Remember when you asked yourself if you were brave or stupid because you watched the entirety of season 1 of End of Any, right?
Oh, yes.
Now, Richard translated this entire game on his own, with no team, and for whatever reason did not quit Squaresoft as a result of this experience. He still remained there and continued to work there. Is he brave or stupid? Is he brave or stupid?
I mean, those two things kind of go hand in hand, really. You can't really say they're not mutually exclusive, but at the same time, they often enough come together. You know.
Allow me.
That was Shiroi's diplomatic way of giving the coward answer.
Allow me. Confidence. A fool's substitute for intelligence.
Also, there's
You
a
know what?
literal
Go
airplane.
with that, I guess.
Also, in case the note from before was too fast, the last affair was actually on me, so fair enough on that. Just to quickly sum up what Babe actually did mention, Pei noticed a relay station, so maybe if we actually go there, we might actually get some progress, but go on.
Okay. To be fair, I guess there was still a happy ending because to Square's credit, like Teo was saying, they did recognize his efforts and made him localization director soon after of Dragon Quest VIII, and that was his magnum opus. So it's not so there was a happy ending to his career at Square, at the very least. So there's that. But yeah, that was I'm pretty confident he probably still has nightmares.
What?
Sorry.
Why is the room tilted like this? This is supposed to be a tower.
It's the leaning tower?
No, that is still perpendicular.
Oh, you just
And
asked
even
why the
touching
room
the
is
monitors.
tilted, though.
Well, it's more like it's literally tilted. It's like literally lifted 45 degrees. 90 degrees. This appears to be the relay station control room.
Didn't you say that earlier?
Sorry. Let's try a few things around here.
I was talking to Faye.
Oh, okay. No. It's more like we'll need to confirmation on that. You only guessed it might have been it.
A tilted towers? So you think that this is going to be a crossover with
Oh.
Fortnite? Sorry.
What's going on?
Ah, crap, you activated the self-destruct button.
Self-destruct button.
No, not really.
So the gang blew up because he pressed the wrong button.
Oh, it's an elevator, I guess. Boy, it looks more like a train.
Very phallic elevator.
Freud was right, Dibs. I'm surprised this thing still functions.
Yeah, sometimes an elevator.
How old is this? How old is this tower?
That's a good question. It's been there for a very long time, and again, some things just don't make sense. This is not a stone structure, but a metallic construct with electronics in it. All right, let's hop back into the gears and get on the train. But if I recall correctly, yeah, let me use this small time to ponder a bit. Again, like I mentioned, the game was never released in Europe because of a trouble with the localization. But I actually do wonder how my country would have reacted if this had been released in there, considering the region's themes and how my country is more, as you can imagine, susceptible to those. For the record, they were the ones who threw the hissiest of the fits when Rural Rose was released, due to that game talking about very delicate themes, involving small girls. It looks like we can get through the upper floor from here. We need to get out of the gears and cross by the handrails. Again, if you actually played Rule of Rose, you know that the game has more tact when it has to deal with those themes, but it still talks about to talk about them. But when it came out, my country was almost furious about it, and that's one of the reasons why copies were literally destroyed, and now its prices are outrageous, to the point where people are hoping it gets remastered. But so I wonder if something similar might have happened here, considering the religious themes.
If I may, on the one hand, yeah, destroying copies may seem like a bit of an overreaction. I will give him this, though, that I can get calling out this game for really going the whole, all religion is pretty much evil so far, because...
Jova, we are not... Again, you're still not enough. You have still not enough information. Hey, it started. All right, let's go.
Stop flickering in and out of Faye.
That's very rude of you.
Square Enix NPCs, always rude to the extent of their abilities.
Yeah, I know. If they were in the Red Dwarf universe, they'd be constantly walking through the holograms in spite of being told that it's rude to do so. Yes, that's possibly because of the fact that they really couldn't afford back then to have an effect that looked decent.
Whoa!
I'm surprised this place still has this much energy.
It's like one of those skyrocket tower rides.
Or falling apart, because it's in the right state.
Wait.
Yeah, this tower is really old.
Wait. It literally broke for a walkway. What, did they build that walkway on top of the rail there?
Hold on, everybody. Here it comes.
Is this secretly a spaceship?
No, it's the Great Glass elevator.
Where are we going to climb to?
Up.
You're only now thinking of that?
Going to the Up movie. Awesome.
We don't really have very old party members.
To be fair, what else can we do than just try this thing?
We have Cheetan.
War. It's not old.
I think he said I think he said outer wall, not old wall.
No, Luis was talking about something else. There we go.
Still going up.
Up in the clouds.
Wait, are we going to...
Are we actually bringing this to space now?
No, please don't break. Please don't break.
It breaks.
Please don't break the frame rate.
It broke.
Wait, we seem to be fine.
Or it's gonna fall backwards and it's gonna be terrible.
A shot? From where?
What's that, Graph?
Crap, the track's gone. We're going outside.
Time froze.
Again, remember, it's when it is to load the next location.
Oh, we made it here somehow.
Yes. What's that?
The sky.
Let's see.
It's the Solarian battleship. A Kepler ship.
Dun, 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 dun.
Pedro, no, we'll get sued by Disney.
They can't copyright a hum.
Hey, look at that! It's Ramsus and Miang in their gears.
Pedro, the sad thing is companies have tried.
How can you copyright a person humming something?
They can't copyright Europe.
They'll probably get minted as an NFT.
Right. What is that here?
I've been waiting, Faye. Last time at sea, I was rendered unconscious by a surprise traitor, but that won't happen this time. I won't let you go up.
So why did
How
you get
did
betrayed?
they know we were here?
We followed you.
But I removed the recognition code and tracking.
And what she's not
Forget
saying
something.
is from herself, you know.
Did you like cut it out or like?
Yeah,
how did you-
it's like when you're entering with that kind of code in your shoe when you trigger the alarm. Our backs to the wall, we can't run. Here we go. So yeah,
Let's fight.
now you actually a proper gear fight against Ramzus. About fucking time. His gear name is actually Wyvern. That's pretty fitting. Miang's name actually doesn't have one, if I recall correctly. She's gonna play mostly support, so focus your attention on him. But otherwise, this is still doable. And again, thanks to the arrows, Ellie can snap this in two as usual. So don't be worried about this.
So you normally don't, when playing RPGs, you normally don't go after the support character first.
Depends on the boss battle and how it works.
Yeah,
Edge.
that too.
Okay.
Wow.
Like in Chrono Trigger's final boss, you need to go after the little thingy on the left first because the other two are literally unkillable. If you
Oh
don't do
shit,
that.
Mega Player. Also, Miang is not targetable in this fight, if I recall correctly, just like it was on the one against the Aishao.
I guess we can assume that the party are just proper, respectable pirates in the sense that they don't attack.
Or
the
more
support.
like they're focusing the effort on the one who's actually trying to kill them directly. There we go, we're done.
Huh.
Again,
Did you overlevel?
No, the air that too, but again, the arrows do the trick. No questions asked with
Right.
with the Ether Doubler.
No, it can't be.
It's not over. Not yet.
No, Commander, pull out.
Miang is the one who really,
Miang,
time
now's
and time
not
again,
the
has to be the
time.
voice of reason.
Poor choice of words there.
Especially since we've seen them sleeping
Let
together.
So-
go.
so what-
I can't retreat now.
Jova.
Go.
It's impossible with your wounds.
Ejova.
But
They like it.
Mom!
Yes, Major?
They like it when I put it in, and they like it when I pull it out.
Yeah. I was gonna say this.
Well,
this time,
Miang is actually a better idea. Retreat to the ship and literally fire upon us.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh, hit and run, you cowards!
That's it.
Damn.
That dialogue just then read like as though they were having sex in one of the.
God, we are not
bots.
going to be responsible.
Yeah, no, again-
That will not work.
Again, the Ramsus is basically like the child is like, but Mom, I want to play some more with my friends.
Get out of
I
my
love-
room and playing Minecraft!
I love how every time there's an explosion effect, the game's
Uh?
frame rate tanks to like 10 frames per second.
Yes.
From above? No, it couldn't be. Bridge!
Aha!
Yeah, I think that's gone, Miang.
Dimensional vibrations, level 8. A huge formation is coming this way.
I've got some good vibrations. Oh, Marky Mark.
Just as I feared, Shevat.
Yeah, orbital bombardment from their
Fucking
part.
Shevat.
I was having a good day and then Shevat. Change heading 180 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah, now.
It's
Basically turn back.
Someone stop with that smoke.
Or at least not being there in trajectory.
All ships full speed. Retreat from this position.
I love how they're actually going into that smoking valve.
They don't really have much of a choice.
Running away now!
What was that?
Pedro, take over.
Yeah, took over. Oh, sorry.
No, never mind.
No, even I couldn't read that. That's the thing.
It was actually automated, sorry. But,
Actually, that was like lightning fast there.
well, that happened. Let's keep climbing, shall
You
we?
know what? There was never any dialogue there at all.
Are we doing more platforming?
Well, if the game doesn't think it's important for me to read it, then why should I? Why should
To
we,
answer
right?
your question, Dej, yes. Although it's actually more bearable in this second section.
Alright then.
So,
Uh,
yeah,
also, I
that
love
really
that-
did all just happen.
I love that animation or lack thereof, the ship turning around. It just turns around in a perfect 90-degree angle, like
180.
180. Sorry.
And then just goes.
What you're supposed to do here is to actually have the character exit the gear and actually enter some of the controls room in order to open the gates that are, in front of the rest of the corridor that need, otherwise will block your path.
It reminds me of the
Sorry, go on.
It reminds me of the Lightning Returns NPCs, where whenever they want to turn around, there's this very awkward animation where they rotate,
Yeah.
and only then they start walking.
Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. Why is this room tilted this way? Seriously.
Roger Christian made this.
And
Because Tail, if we want to make real science, we need to create. Sorry.
And that button rotates this mirror thing like this. Okay, weird. Gone.
Oh, hush up, Tail. If you want to do real science, you need to have a room full of computers in blinking lights. It's just the way it is.
Wait a minute. Doesn't this room look a little
Communications
familiar?
are up. Lock clear. Done.
Thank you, computer.
Door lock is being cleared.
Is that the computer saying it, or is it fake?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's the computer, but no.
The old Dawn was probably on face part because it was all in caps.
But anyway, this room looks oddly familiar.
Yeah, look at that. Even the chairs are like glued to the wall. This just doesn't make. Who designed this? Willy Wonka? Seriously.
I think even Willy Wonka would have some words to have with the designing.
He'd make that room out of sweets, not buttons.
Well, wasn't there the technological room that had nothing actually organic in it?
Yeah, there was the one with the TV beam.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm cutting away most of the encounters because the enemy variety is not much here, and you're already seeing plenty.
Sure.
Alright, let's try to move forward like this.
I feel like the camera angle is not the best either.
Sometimes it's like for cramped space like this, yes, it's not the most optimal.
It's like for this particular kind of dungeon, it would help if the game would take a more over-the-head perspective.
Oh, what a nice robot! It heals and then blows itself up.
Thank you.
That happened.
Why?
Kamikaze robot.
But why did it heal me first?
Because for the walls, I don't know.
Because life is cruel.
And strange. Alright, if I don't correctly...
Or maybe the idea, oh shit, I accidentally healed you instead of attacking you. I guess my only resort now is to commit suicide.
There was that healing robot that you could find, healing mech that you could find in the caves, when Faye and Bart were alone. But it was more, again, an extra hint that the game, not extra hint, an extra helping hand that the game will give you for the mech fights,
I just remembered too, in Final Fantasy VIII, during the first flashback, there was also a monster that would kindly, as Spoonie put it, kindly heals you while you shove a harpoon up its ass. So
I forgot which one of us, the fungus?
I think so. I'll have to go back and check.
I don't remember any particular monsters that did heal you, but then again, that sequence is piece easy anyway. Again, considering you're already linked, junctioned, at that point, you're basically well equipped to destroy all enemies that are in that area, and it's over before you even know it.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, on these pipes, the general rule is to try to not run, because just walking and tippy-toeing helps you not to potentially veer off and lose balance. Okay, this one is, again, there's also a bit of platforming, but... Oh, there's also an eating bot here. Self-repairing, sorry.
Chris, would you like
Let's
a
ask.
recharge?
And again,
we play
a game. But yes, thankfully you can actually tune up from here. If I recall correctly, this one doesn't really sell you that many, and that's decent enough of an enhancement. It's just there to make sure that you're refilled with both health and fuel for the gears, which is actually very thankful.
Thank you. Come again.
But this environment is just bizarre. What kind of tower has this structure?
The kind that just likes to dick around with anybody who wants to take a simple climb upstairs.
I have no fucking idea what this kind of enemy is. The one in the center. The one near it are the stop signs, I think they're called. We didn't encounter them before. And they normally don't take that much damage, but again, the arrows make quick work of them anyway, you know? And the tower works basically just the same. So
that's
back
why
for...
you have Ellie.
Yeah, basically. Ellie is gonna be basically your life and savior, you know. It's not even technically cheating because it's something that the game actually rewards you because they know the double is broken, so you have to pay a lot for it. So that means grinding a lot of money. So it's more of a reward towards patience more than anything.
So basically, Cheaton carries you on the ground gameplay, Ellie carries you with the mech gameplay.
Basically.
So basically, Ellie's gear is basically just like Reiji's gear if he was constantly angry.
Kinda.
Basically.
It's also interesting considering Ellie also carries over her abilities for Virge, but you're just better off just using arrows rather than exploiting the enemy weaknesses. So there is that. The other accessory that I talked about before, and the Holy Pendant, is also good because it actually allows you to keep any buff that you have for like the double the turn that they normally have, which is gonna be crucial in case of having basically an accessory that basically something that gives you haste, for example. And guess what? Billy, when joining the party, comes equipped already with one because of story reason, you know, Holy Pendant for a priest. So you don't really have to spend that much over that. There we go. In order to progress now, you have to use these particular platform that, when activated, you actually need to fight, but after that, they actually propel you upward, you know. Again, if you lose your balance here, you just climb to the bottom and to restart again, but it's, like I said, it's less dickish than the part before with the water.
Is that because it's easier to just make your way back up?
Yes, well, that's the primary thing. There we go.
I'll say it like this, a JRPG with platforming is not inherently a bad thing, it's just that more often than not, they're not made with platforming in mind, but insist on including
I would also, like I said, like I said at the very beginning, I will also take this over what 13.2 passed over platforming, because like I mentioned, also in the run of that game when we did it, the triangle button being dedicated to jump is pretty much a clear reference to this, pure and simple. But the platforming that they give you in that game is not in sense non-existent, but it's so piece easy that you might as well kept the automated system that the first game had. It's pretty much there so that it could have been a selling point for the marketing and say, see guys, we give you the freedom of jump, even though we are doing nothing with it. And the only dungeon that actually takes advantage of it, the last one, employs it in such a very pitiful way that you have to clearly go out of your way to actually miss the jumps there. Yes, Deja?
It's probably rude to close enough, right?
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, honestly,
Yes.
I guess it's a bit of a spectrum here. Like, obviously, the best case scenario would be to just have good platforming in a JRPG. But is it more annoying to have bad platforming, or is it more annoying to give a jump button that really serves no purpose?
I feel like if you're gonna have platforming as your primary gimmick of a dungeon, you have to be careful with it because because your mechanics are going to be worse than an actual proper platform, since it's not the focus of the design.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really be very careful about how you do it. You have to make the platforming somewhat basic enough so that the mechanics can handle it. Because one of the problems with 13.2 is how it tries to do platforming, but the jump button is not really particularly, like, jump ability is not particularly great in that game.
I think the best JRPG series that I've seen handle platforming is the Mario and Luigi series.
Because, well, that being said, so...
in mind.
Also, regarding what you said before, Jova, about a jump button that's technically useless, don't forget that the first Inokuni has it, and it's more of a joke than anything, but other than that, it's perfectly harmless.
That's not really platforming theory. It's mostly
well,
just
no,
scripted.
Jova just mentioned just about the jump button. In the first Inokuni, it's the first reward, one of the first rewards that you get, but even the guy, when you actually get it, it basically mentions you. It's not really useful, but you might have fun with it.
It's something that the developers will put in because it would give you something to press while you're walking.
It technically makes you very slightly faster, so speedrun community be rejoiced, I suppose.
I mainly included that because you were mentioning about how 13-2's jump button was more or less worthless, save for the final dungeon.
Basically.
Yeah. And by that point, you're just like at the point, oh, right, that was the jump button, wasn't there?
Honestly, okay, if you had to pick one extreme, would you have a jump button that just taunts you with its worthlessness like 13-2 did up to that point? Or would you have terribly implemented platforming like 13-2 did at the last second?
Well, like I said, technically Ni no Kuni 1 did the same thing by giving you a jump button that technically is, as the game itself even admits it, is useless. But at the same time, it's one of those cases where it's okay if you want to have a useless jump as long as it's just... Okay, a useless jump that doesn't even come into play, at worst, it's just a weird thing, but you can just ignore it. And you can
and by the way, now you have to take a leap of faith.
Don't you just love that? Don't you?
Again, like I said, one of the worst dungeons in the entire game.
If there's one thing I hate in video games is when something is entirely reliant on luck. You're not even a test of my skill. I literally have no control whether I succeed or why I
don't like
lose.
Battlefrontier.
Okay.
Unless it's like a casino simulator.
Okay. You know what? I think I'm really starting to get the deal with this game upon release here. This game feels like what would have happened if a lot of Sevens' more dubious points in the game overshadowed all the good it had. Again, I'm not going to say that as far as I'm concerned, the bad overshadows the good in this game, but this game definitely has a lot more random bonkers nonsense than Final Fantasy VII, both story-wise and gameplay-wise. I can see why somebody might put the game down for a bit. Not forever, but might, I can see how this wouldn't exactly have generated the most positive of buzz.
I can tell you this, Joe, this dungeon is the equivalent of Blighttown for Dark Souls. To an extent, Kislev might have qualified, but this is the same thing. It's either gonna make you drop the game or actually continue because you have literally seen the worst.
Yeah, it's like, but continue that's the thing, Jova. With a jump like that, you can, like, with a jump like in Ni no Kuni 1, even if you don't particularly care for the addition of that because it's useless, you can just ignore it, and it will just, and it will just, like, you can just continue the game. In 13-2, it's not that they ignore it; they literally have an entire final dungeon based around it. So it's not even that; it's just like.
Again, they also heavily not heavily, but they actually were proud of it in marketing because, again, they noticed that it was one of the points. Remember, Jova, one of the points of contention of the first 13 that a lot of people had, not necessarily me, don't remember if I did, but they did, was that a lot of the jumps, but all the jumps that you do are basically automated, looks like we can climb up. And so they felt like we were necessary, so they tried to circumvent that by giving you that dedicated jump button, which, again, dedicating also to the triangle button is, again, a clear reference to this. But hold on, we're actually reaching the top, believe it or not.
Hey!
And then they accidentally drop, so yes. God damn it!
Hey, I can see... Oh, Faye, I can see the remains of your village from here.
But there is literally nothing here. What? No ceiling?
We climbed all this way up just to see a fancy skylight.
It seems that it's true. Shevat was here before. Look around.
They just flew up and blasted the top bit.
We missed the timing. Holy shit.
I mean,
they kind of just... There are marks from some huge thing.
Yeah, fake. People like Christian.
Oh yeah. Is there any common equipment nearby?
Odd response to what I just said, but I don't see anything.
Yeah,
I don't see anything else.
By the way, if you got a phone,
Faye, look up. Something's closing in, and
Also,
I didn't read the rest
It
of
was
that.
a gear. Next character is played by you, Dweebs. Gabler.
Also, Faye, allow
I'm
me.
here in Shevat's territory.
Hello there.
Many people are trying to get in, but Cypine and I removed them.
Saibzen. Again in German. Wait a minute, we just want to...
Get ready!
The fight is fairly simple. Saibzen, which if I recall correctly is German number 418, I think. Apologies to the German audience right now. It's fairly resistant to your physical attacks, so you can only decently hit him, aside from the arrows, obviously. You can decently hit him with your combos, but you need to build them up properly.
That's a guy.
Saibzen is the name of a gear. The real girl is the pilot.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on.
That's enough, Maria. Come back.
Yes, Queen Zephyr. Oh, no, God damn it, my inner thoughts leaked out again.
Is that the evil council from Kung Pao?
Yeah.
No, that was Shevat, and there you go. That's finally our chance to actually get in this fucking place that we see from the beginning.
So wait. Is Queen Zephyr another bad guy?
No, she's the ruler of Shevat. We'll have to see if she's actually better or not. But the point was actually to get there.
Well,
And then Betty's like, yes, Shevat are actually aliens.
Sure. The city in the sky, the magical donut ring, Shevat.
Holy crap, it's a donut ring. So
Doesn't look like a very
Yeah, we'll see.
appetizing
Shit.
donut.
and then Buckadoit exposes it for the shit over it.
With 4 reactors. But hold on, we're about to get the payoff that they did mention.
Oh boy.
Waves?
Test your strength.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, I was speaking, you know. The Queen is awaiting for your arrival above.
Queen sends a child soldier to do this.
Again, I'll mention this after this cutscene because we're about to get more of the Council of Vagueness, so go ahead, Dweebs.
The Council of Vagueness.
With the broken TV over there.
They allowed contact with Shevat.
There is an animal ready in Shevat. We can't afford to have them alive before preparations are complete.
it's
Joa?
meaningless if it is not compatible with our type.
Pedro,
you want to bury all of Shevat?
that's
What about the numerous?
animals. Dweebs?
There are others. We must respond severely so this doesn't happen again.
Not a bunch of Shevat gate. As long as it is there, we can't get in. Jova?
Easy. We just use accents and gravity cannon to compensate for the time-space warp.
Pedro?
Action. Is it operational? Also, Gesundheit.
That's
Bless you. I was gonna say that.
It's ready. The airborne squad is already assembled.
Dweebs?
Any side effects?
The regimented 71st Airborne should have no problems.
Well then, I look forward to this.
But yes, guys, you have also heard correctly from the mysterious girls. Our characters are freely able to use their propellers to go upward to the city.
It's
You know,
not
these
easy.
guys-
Hold on. You're telling me I could have literally just bypassed this dungeon by just flying over it?
I mean,
Yep.
duh. I was wondering why he didn't do that in the first place.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, I've learned two things. One, the developers of this game kind of seem to have broken their own gameplay logic, and two, this is the most obviously evil council of evil people I've seen since the Illuminati in the first Tomb Raider movie.
You know, they remind me of those one villains of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Filler arc where they formed that dragon.
Yes.
Oh, the
You mean the big
virtual
five?
reality arc. Yes.
The big five. Yeah.
Yes, Major.
And now, our plans are going just according to plan. Vague Eagle Councilman. Now comes the time for our Vague Evil Councilman laugh.
Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
Maniacal laugh. Also,
yes, go on.
Also, one more thing. Teo, Dej, Shiroi, the donut Earth right here.
It's all connected.
Basically, Jova, I get the feeling Hino played this game.
Okay, I don't remember if it was also a potential plot point in one of the Gundam stories. Could have been not. Again, I know jack shit.
We know that he played Gundam. He even made a Gundam anime.
No, but
himself.
I don't remember if the whole Hollow Earth that was done by aliens was also a recurring thing in the mecha genre.
Sure.
But again, that's digressing. To the next part, where we actually enter the city of Shevat and see what we can find there. Basically, answers for our character, maybe. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.